LoreWarrior Online, V4-LNT-K7 Valiant. Overview. Engineered originally on a grant given to the Vining Engineering and Salvage Team, also known as VEST, from Irian battlemechs, the Valiant had just finished undergoing field tests when the Jihad came to Solaris 7. VEST managed to save all 5 original prototypes before losing their Zolaran facilities, dedicating themselves to the support of Eric Gray's Solaran Home Defense League resistance movement. However, knowing they still had to pay the bills somehow, VEST managed to smuggle 2 Valiants off-world in the hopes of selling the design to a larger manufacturer. After an adventure worthy of an action holovid, the VEST team found themselves indebted to the Combine and finalising a multi-year contract to produce the Valiant for the SHDL and the DCMS, and after Solaris 7 was liberated in 3071, VEST renegotiated the contract with Wakizashi to include building a new factory on the continent of Greyland to replace the loss of their Zolaran and Tangerine facilities. By 3074, Margaret Florence, the CFO of the VEST/Wakizashi factory and co-designer of the Valiant itself, stepped down from her position after a bitter power struggle. In November of that year, she resurfaced as Chief Design Operator of Johnston Industries in the Federated Suns. Her unveiling of a new variant of the Valiant, the VLNT-J3 model, sparked a vicious legal battle over the Valiant's ownership that looks to remain locked in the Combine, Lyran and Fedsun courts, possibly for decades to come, while the factories continue to ignore the lawsuits to supply their now demanding customers. Capabilities. Utilizing a basic GM engine and Myoma accelerator circuitry, the Valiant has a high land speed but lacks jump jets. Built for harassment rather than stand-up fighting, the Valiant is more suited to heavy urban combat, using its tremendous speed to surprise their opponent, often by burying its 2-ton hatchet into their back. Much has been made in recent years regarding VEST's decision to place a large amount of armour flange over the right wrist and forearm, and though the flange looks very much like a shield, it lacks the structural support mechanism necessary to function as such. The original test pilots of the Valiant knew not to use the cosmetic shield for this, but the confusion was very evident amongst the first generation of DCMS pilots. Subsequent Wakizashi production runs discarded this cosmetic piece after several complaints by warriors. The company's decision may have been a catalyst for Florence's subsequent acquisitions and actions, as the Johnston Industries version does mount a shield along with some other design modifications. Deployment. Despite the current legal battles raging in 3 different house courts, the Valiant can be found with some regularity amongst line units in both the Combine and Federated Suns. Curiously, the Valiants produced on Solaris 7 aren't shipped to Lyran units but are mainly sold on-world to low-tier fighters, SHDL veterans, and the odd blossoming mercenary market. A few Valiants have also been found in Word of Blake militia units, but they appear to be battlefield salvage acquisition rather than purchases. Variants. The Johnston Industries Valiant has the same design ethos as the original VEST version, but with several core changes. The newer J3 mounts a 210 GM light fusion engine imported from the Lyran Alliance. The right forearm was redesigned to support a small shield. Additionally, a Firetech F6 Infernus Flamer has been worked into the cavity right below the wrist to give opponents a surprise when they get to close combat. New terminal heavy ferrofibrous armor replaces the original Valiant gauntlet to provide additional protection. The mask system was removed for a loss of speed, but with the addition of 3 diverse optics ER small lasers, giving the J3 model additional punch for anti-vehicle and anti-infantry hunting operations. VEST hasn't been idle either though. Though not a complete redesign of the Valiant, the VEST Solaris 7 version debuted in Hartford Gardens to some critical acclaim. The 3T model improves the right forearm to mount a light shield at the reduction of armour in the torso and legs. VEST produces the new 3T on a limited basis and only for Solaris stables, since the design is considered under-armoured for actual warfare. Notable mech warriors include Chui Taylor Dingwa, one of the first recipients of a K7 model of the Valiant on Luthien. the Chewie led his truncated lance through grueling missions across Imperial City for over a year, working with his two lancemates, one in a Scarabus and the other using a salvaged Night Sky. The Axe Pack became extremely adept in night fighting, often headhunting Blakists separated from the main body. The three Genyosha warriors went missing in late 3071 near the Budan complex and were found barely alive in a liberated Black Dragon prison camp 2 years later. So the Valiant is a 30-ton light. Its chassis is the Smallbug B model modified. Its power plant standard is a GM210. Its cruise speed is 75 kph and its maximum speed is 118, with 151 when mask is activated, with no jump capacity. Its armour is the Valiant Gauntlet, and its armament is 3 diverse optics ER medium lasers and a single BSW light hatchet. It's manufactured by Vest, Wakazashi Enterprises and Johnston Industries. Solaris is where Vest works, Dover is where Wakazashi works, and Bennett 3 is for Johnston. Its communication system is the Olmsted 37, and the targeting and tracking system is the downright lovable Irian 511, a cheap system that works despite the fact that it's not doing anything particularly special, but it is a great entry-level unit used by many a collector. So what we have here is the K7 model is what you'll see the image for, and yes, that does look like a full-on shield. It's like a mini Battlemaster with the cockpit, definitely a bit of a nod or a throwback to the original Battlemaster visually with the head design there. It's not bad. I mean, it works. Stat-wise, this is a mech that can walk 7, run 11 or 14 when it has its mask activated. It has 10 double heat sinks in total, and its armour is pretty scarce though. It has 8 on the head, 9 on the CT with 3 on its rear, 8 on the right and left torso with 3 on the rear again, 8 on the arms and 11 on the legs. The weapons are evenly spread, as you can see, 1 in the right torso, 1 in the head, 1 in the left torso, with the hatchet being in the left arm and mask located in the CT. It's not doing anything special, but a mech like this doesn't need to do anything special really. But yeah, not bad. I quite like it, and it's also one of those ones that you can use in a nice sort of disposable role as a villain or an opponent mech for the players, or something that the players can start with early on. It gives them a bit of flexibility in the way that they can engage, and you can use some of the newer systems like Mask, getting in up close with melee combat, getting that bonus damage from the hatchet, for instance, and still having the ability to engage at medium and short range with relative ease. But yeah, I thought I'd sort of take a break from vehicles and dropships and jump ships and stuff. I'm sure some of you are kind of bored of hearing about those for a while. Don't worry, they will be coming back shortly. I just thought for maybe a week or two we'd do some more mechs again from TRO 3075. So here we are with the Valiant, and I will leave you there at 8 minutes, leave you hanging. So thanks for listening. As always, I'll catch you next time. Bye!